Hello everybody, I have nailed homemade bread and I'm so excited about it. So you know that lockdown period where everyone decided they wanted to try sourdough or making their own bread? I was one of those people and I'm pumped because I literally nailed the recipe. We're gonna go for it today. So we've got 3 cups of plain flour. It's honestly really, really easy. Now these cup thingies are not the greatest because they collapse, but anyway. 3 cups of flour straight into a bowl. I'm a bit loosely measuring. That's what I did when I did this recipe. I'll see how they collapse. God dang it. All right, 3 loose cups of flour. And now we have warm water, like lukewarm water. You don't want it to be boiling because it burns the yeast. So I learned that one when we were at home researching. So we've got dry yeast packets. We need a teaspoon of this in 1.5 cups of water. So I'm gonna use a teaspoon and just get it out. It's basically pretty much the whole sachet, but just a little bit less. So that goes into lukewarm water. And again, it is very important that it isn't boiling because I've done it so many times I've boiled the water. I actually got a phone call from my sister the other day being like, why didn't this work? And I was like, did you use boiling water? She goes, yeah. And I was like, oh, you burnt the yeast smell up. So anyway, we're going to stir this until it bubbles at the top. You don't really want to stir it too much, just get rid of the lumps. And then we're just gonna wait till it's bubbling. And in my research, while I was sitting in my house being like, how do I make homemade bread? Because I was getting convinced by TikTok. You apparently, when you can see the bubbles, it means it's alive. So we wait for it for like a couple of minutes and then we're gonna pour this straight into here and we're gonna knead it. So here, we're just gonna pause for 1 minute until my bubbles come alive. Okay, we are ready to go. It's dissolved. We're gonna throw it straight into the flour. Little mixies. One time I did this and I got the water ratio so wrong that I did like 1.5 cups and for some reason I thought that was 750 mils and it really didn't work at all. It would look like a soup. Anyways, here we go. We're gonna mix this just really, really lightly with a wooden spoon and then we're gonna knead it on the bench. Now this has obviously absolutely no flavor and we're not gonna add anything until it's risen. Because again, in my research, salt can kill the yeast. So we're going in and we're going to wait for about 2 to 3 hours till it rises and then we'll add in some herbs. Like we'll do salt, we'll do rosemary, we'll do oregano, we'll just do, maybe we can make little mini breads. Maybe we can make bread rolls. Okay, we're changing the recipe, it's gonna be bread rolls. I wanna do something. Okay, so when it comes this consistency, it's all kind of come together, but it's not quite together. We wanna put a little bit of the flour on the bench, just a little sprinkle, just cover some working. Rings, we're taking them off because we're about to get our hands filthy and you don't want flour stuck in your rings. Okay, so throw this straight onto the bench, all the crumbs and everything all on top. Put that to the side. We're gonna use this bowl in a minute. Take this out. Now your hand's about to get sticky, but it's okay. So here we go. Always have a battle with this spoon. You're going in there. Now, all we're gonna do is basically put it together with our hands. So together and then roll, together and push. If you have any thing that you're angry at the minute, you can just take it out on the bread. It's actually really soft. This one's, I feel it in my bones that this one's gonna be a good one. So if you need a little bit of extra flour, if it's still feeling like super sticky, just add a little bit of extra in there. Like if you've gotten the water sort of ratio a little bit off, you can just flour your hands and then we're just gonna keep going until we kind of everything's together and then we form like a perfect little ball. And then once that's done, we're gonna put it in our bowl and we're gonna let it rise. And then we're gonna do this one more time. But how easy is that? There's no like I got into the whole sourdough thing and I was like feeding this stupid little freaking, what's it called, jar of sourdough starter and it would bubble at me and then it would just die and I was like, I don't know what's happening. And then, you know, I'm like almost like maybe 3 TikToks away from doing it again because I keep getting convinced. But anyways, I'm gonna try my best to not be convinced by that because it's almost like another child. Okay, here we go. This is all done. So we're just gonna quickly knead it into a little ball like this. Doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't matter at all. We're gonna pop it back into the bowl that we use. There's still a bit of flour in the bowl, that's perfect. Throw it in there, little tea towel over the top and put it someplace warm. So we're just gonna put it on the side of the bench, 2 to 3 hours, we're gonna let it rise. Once it's completely risen, we're gonna add our flavor. So see you in 2 hours. It's been about 2 and a bit hours and I'm impatient, so here we go. Look at this, it's risen. it's looking perfect. So basically from now, what you need is an oven safe dish. Now this one isn't perfect. I would prefer something that's a little bit taller and smaller, but you get what you get. You don't get upset in this household. So we're gonna do a little bit of flour on the bench again, just clean, that's all right. A little bit on the bench. And then we're gonna tip this out, knead it one more time with the flavorings. So look at that, that's, you know that's gonna be a good bread. All right, throw in. Okay, so from here, we're gonna add some salt in here. And in my 2 hours of time that I could think, I don't actually wanna add too much flavor. So here you can add whatever you like. You can add olives, you can add some rosemary, oregano, something, but I'm just gonna go plain Jane. We're just gonna add salt for today, and then we'll add some delicious toppings on it once it's cooked. So I'm gonna do 2 big heaped spoonfuls of salt in here, because I like a really deliciously salty bread. So we're going to knead it all the way through. 2 big spoonfuls. Honestly, it needs it because it just doesn't taste like anything unless you have that in there. So make sure if you're adding flavor, you're gonna add salt and then a flavor. So making sure that the salt is definite as number 1, and then you add your toppings on top. And don't add too many as well. You don't wanna overdo it because every bite, you don't want it to be like rosemary in your face. So once you're done and you're happy, we're gonna roll it into a little bowl. It's kind of as nice as you sort of can. And that there is gonna be your bread loaf. So we're gonna put it straight into the oven safe pot. A little bit of flour on the bottom of that. Just a tiny bit, just to get it a little bit messy. This one's a Bessemer, and this has been in our family for like 45 years. Actually, no, this one hasn't. The orange ones, the old school ones, the best. So here's our little ball. We're happy with that. I don't really care about things not being super smooth on the top, but maybe we should just make it a little bit nice. Right, there we go. Chuck it straight in, and it's just gonna sit on there, and it will grow and expand in the oven. So first we're gonna do lid on for 40 minutes, and then we're gonna take the lid off and let it get really nice, golden and crispy. So here we go, we're just gonna leave that there, lid on, straight in the oven on 180. So it's been 40 minutes, now we're gonna take the lid off, and then we're gonna let it crisp on the top for another 20 minutes. Pop that back in, it's looking good. Okie dokie, this is nice, and it's so golden and brown and delicious and hot on my fingers. Okay, that looks unreal. And it's, okay. Nope, don't grab it, Leah. I'm just thinking out loud because I've done that so many times. I've grabbed it and then it's literally like, look at that. Doesn't stick to the bottom. Oh. Crispy. She crispy. All right. Now, I'm so nervous about this in case it's not nice. You know when you get like, you just get nervous and you're like, oh my God, I've just like hyped this whole thing up, and if it doesn't work, oh my gosh, but it will because I've done this millions of times already. Oh, did you see that? That's a crispy outline. Oh. She's perfect. Well, let's look at that up close. Check that out. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. That's a good, and that's such a delicious crust. I'm gonna cut one more slice just so I can like. Honestly, that's what you want. Might be a little bit crispy, but like, it's really soft in the middle and like, look at that. How good is that? Okay, so you can put butter, you can put whatever you like, but I've just got some darama here, which is just like a pink sort of like fish roe dip. Yum. Look how good that looks. Slice. I need to take a bite, obviously. Ready? You're gonna hear this crunch in my mouth. Oh, that's so fucking good. That's perfect. Like, it might seem too crispy, but genuinely, that is the perfect bread. And so easy. Like, there's no feeding your third child sourdough starter thing, whatever. None of that. Easy, simple, homemade bread. You can make it literally every day. How good's that? Recipe is in the description below. Let me know if you make it and if you like it, if you whatever, well, like, let me know your additions, like if you add olives, if you add flavors, like I want to know, just want to be inspired to make more bread. So if you want to make it, try it. Yum. I will see you guys next week, but please, please give this one a go.